You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Domashevitz.
Oh, that was smoked! Sorry. Munoz just gave off a double in spring training. The penultimate spring training game, by the way. Penultimate.
Which means?
Second to last.
Oh, okay.
I learned a word.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I thought I knew the word, but Andrew confirmed the word.
Have
the
you
word.
heard about the word?
Is it bird? Is bird the word?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the word was penultimate.
No. How do you spell penultimate? Is it just P-E-N ultimate?
Yes.
Is that two words?
That is exactly how I would spell it. E-E-N ultimate.
Is this the circle change? Is this how you grip a circle change?
I mean, you
go
put
on the side.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
there you
like,
go.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you throw it like a
That was really
football.
good for the audio audience.
Yeah, the
Just me
audio
asking
audience.
Daniel about a pitching grip.
But
And actually, I also held it up in a way that nobody could actually see what I was doing,
Yeah.
even on the video.
yeah. You have that circle there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
put the other three fingers around there.
Where do
Yep.
you, like, laces wise, where do you go with that?
That's a good question. Let me feel it.
Because the way I had the circle was like no laces were involved in the circle, and I feel like that probably.
I feel like I usually had it.
Oh, your circle
like,
is tighter than your thumb.
I usually put a tight circle to it.
Okay.
And then I try and have my thumb. I usually try and give my thumb a lace,
Yeah.
and then my finger. This one might. But you're really working on pronating that as
Okay.
it comes
So
out
you're flicking
too.
it outwards.
So you want to,
Okay.
it's coming out like this.
Yeah.
Now, I just learned a new pitch the other day because Andres Munoz threw one and it broke the internet for a couple days in a
Okay.
bullpen. It's called the kick change. And you
You throw it with your foot. You kick
I
it?
wish. I mean, just kick the ball out there. So you hold it like this with your two fingers on these laces right here.
Okay.
And you kind of hold it. That's fairly typical changeup thing. But then you spike this finger.
Oh, the middle finger.
Yeah, you spike the middle finger, and apparently it works well for guys who aren't good at pronating.
Okay.
But apparently, spiking this finger apparently doesn't like really cause more grip or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
What it does is it kind of gets this finger out of the way, and apparently that makes the ball come off of your ring finger better,
Okay.
and that makes it get the same motion and spin to dive towards a right-handed batter.
So you're not flicking it with that
No.
finger. You're just still releasing just normal, but you
Yep.
get that finger.
Yeah,
out of the
and
ball.
apparently that with guys who tend to throw, which I wish that was around when I was playing, because I struggled with a changeup, but I was good at throwing a slider, and they say that this is a good way to get people who are good at throwing sliders to throw a changeup.
Interesting.
The more you know. I literally got super excited. They were like, a kick change. And I was like, what is this? I looked up videos on it, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Isn't
I
that-
started throwing it with wiffle balls at my kids. It was great.
Isn't that the one that they were saying is like the best pitch that's ever been thrown?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
they'd
Yeah,
never
when
seen or
when he did it
whatever.
in the
Yeah,
bullpen and
okay.
all of the other
That's-
pitchers were like, oh, my gosh.
How many times have we just spent half an hour talking about pitch grips?
Oh, I think a lot.
It's a lot.
And he's got a no-2 count here. I'm wondering if he throws
It's
it
really
here.
fascinating.
Let's see, to a right-handed batter. Ooh, that might have been it. 90. Yeah, I think that could have been
work?
it.
Did it work?
It dove like crazy.
But it was a ball.
It was a foul ball.
Okay.
It was a foul
So
ball.
he got it to swing,
Yeah.
or you got him
I
to
think
swing.
that might have been it because I think his slider's a little faster than 90 miles an hour, and it definitely like dove.
Have you guys been paying a lot of attention to spring training?
Nope.
I
This is the second spring training game that I've had on. The first was the very first one.
Okay.
I have been trying to follow as much as I possibly can.
Haniger got released today.
Yes, Haniger got released, so that pretty much
We can't
is
talk about that yet. That's in
Or
the 2 minutes.
as I
Oh,
refer
okay.
to him as the other Mitch.
the other Mitch.
So
He's the other Mitch?
Garver is the Mitch.
Wow.
I don't know.
I
Yes,
would've
he's
thought
the other
Garver-
Mitch now because he got
Okay.
released.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
But previously, Haniger would have been Mitch,
Yes,
and
would've
Garver
been-
would have
yes.
been
Yeah.
the other
Yes,
Mitch.
absolutely.
Yep.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
I think I speak for everyone when I say it's very confusing.
Can't have two Mitches.
What's really confusing is how there's so many guys who go from being really good baseball players to just not being worthy of being on the roster anymore.
It's almost like baseball's like super hard.
It's super hard, and it's super hard to be good for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more amazing that the guys who do it, who have
like
really long careers.
It really is. I feel like Haniger also is kind of like his whole career has struggled with staying healthy, right?
That's probably
Yeah,
true.
like, that's been his
body's
big
taken a
problem.
toll. Yeah, his body's. And then wasn't there something about like his swing being super violent?
Well, Daniel
Oh,
used
good
to
crap.
like literally cringe
Every time.
he saw him
Yeah.
swing.
It's the most painful thing I've seen.
So it makes
It's like
sense.
he
that if his-
grade 3 sprains his ankle every swing.
Daniel literally has flashbacks to getting hit in football and having his leg bend every time he saw Mitch Haniger swing.
That or like landing on somebody's foot in basketball. Like his ankle bone touches the stinking ground every time he swings a baseball bat. And he actually did hurt himself once with it because his ankle popped.
Well, as a disclaimer for people who come to this show for local sports coverage, we do have some,
We have
but we don't have a lot. We have a few nominees for Athlete of the Week, and we'll be discussing what those athletes did.
Yeah.
But we do not have like a thoroughly robust local sports roundup.
No.
And those are going to be happening again. I feel like we've had a few shows recently where we don't have quite as much, and the intention is that through track and baseball and softball and boys soccer that we're going to be covering things very thoroughly. Track is especially difficult.
Yeah.
But we are going to be covering things very thoroughly, and honestly, we're going to have some decisions to make because we're going to have to, after this spring sports season, figure out who our Jane Roloff Award winner is.
Oh,
and I
dang.
feel like it's going to be a tough choice this year.
I think so too. There's one name that keeps popping into my head when I hear about it though. So I got a guy who I'm leaning towards for it.
Yeah, I think that we're kind of on the same page
Yeah.
there. But I want to see what happens through, especially track matters a lot because a lot of athletes who accomplish big things in fall and winter sports are also really good triathletes.
Yeah.
But I think baseball and softball might give us a little bit more, might have some people stepping up to be. The thing is with the Jane Roloff Award is it's not just excellence, it's excellence across multiple sports.
Yes. Yep.
Across multiple sports seasons because Jane did it in cross country and in track.
Yep.
So you have to be a multi-sport athlete. If you were a one-sport athlete, you'd have to be like so insanely good that you put everyone else to shame.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be someone who excels in multiple sports.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think that it's a little surprising then when we talk about it that it's named after someone who only did 2 sports.
Yeah.
Because I think the third sport's really going to be a player.
Well,
in
she did
this decision.
cheerleading her senior year too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
during
that.
basketball season.
Yeah, but
so.
we don't know if she was any good at that.
You know what? Honestly, I just assumed that whatever Jane did, she was good at.
Did she have to stop running to do that? That
Yeah.
might have been
Maybe she
difficult.
did it while she was running. Maybe she ran like around the basketball gym.
She really did burst our bubble, though, when
She
she
was-
told us that she didn't have a treadmill desk.
Yeah.
When we had pictured her even doing homework at a desk running on a treadmill, and she said, "No, I don't have that." And I was like,
Lame.
"Why did we even keep her on the show?" After that?
Maybe because every time I saw someone running in Hoquiam, it was her.
Yeah.
Day or night, whatever it was. I was like, oh, somebody's running out there. Oh, it's Jane.
And
That
now
checks
she's
out.
doing her running at the collegiate level.
Yes. Collegial running. Collegial's a weird word.
Is it a word?
Isn't it a word? Collegial?
collegial?
I think it's a word. Andrew, is
It
that a word?
sounds inappropriate.
I believe it is a word.
So don't you say things into Siri all the time? Why don't you say Siri collegial?
Is collegial a word?
Yeah, it is a word, but it means full of or conducive to goodwill among colleagues, friendly and respectful.
So it's not
So
about
it
college.
isn't about college, other than probably being from similar roots or the same root, probably.
Root sports.
Roots. Root, as my dad would say.
He says root.
Yeah, my dad asked me if I wanted a root beer the other day. And I was like, what is a root beer?
Has he been saying that his whole life?
Maybe.
And you just never noticed it?
He didn't listen to his dad.
Daniel, that can't be the first time you've ever heard your dad say the word root.
No, I don't think so. He's probably asked me if I wanted a root beer before.
I mean, also you grew up in a place that's surrounded by trees. Did you never trip over a root?
Root.
I want to get to the bottom of this. Like, did he just misspeak?
Maybe.
Did you ask him about it?
I did not. Well, I did say root, but then there's a lot of people over, so I didn't really get into it.
Okay.
Because my brother and I were fairly busy acting like we were teenagers.
Yeah.
And my sister kept going, "What are you, like 12?" And
Fairly
we kept
busy
and
acting.
and we were like, "Yeah," like fake punching each other and stuff. Yeah,
That does sound like you.
yeah.
So there's a couple possibilities. One is he usually says root, but he just misspoke and said root.
Or
And
maybe
then
it's-
everyone just glanced over it.
Glanced
Or-
over it.
Glanced over it?
Is that what the term is?
Glanced over it?
I've never heard that before. Glanced over it. Is that what you do? I mean, it makes sense. Like you glance.
Like a glancing blow.
You glance, like you look at something quickly would be a glance.
was
But
thinking
I
more
never
like
thought
a
of glancing over it.
Glancing blow, like something hits you, but just barely.
Yeah.
It glances
Okay.
off of you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That sounded weird when you said it just now, though.
Yeah. The other day I was running and my foot glanced a root.
Maybe he only says it when it's root beer.
I think
Maybe-
glance over means to quickly quickly look over.
Yeah.
Not to,
Gloss. Thank you.
Glossed
Yeah.
over.
My sister
Okay.
said glossed in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Jewel.
I knew it was weird. Glossed over it. But why is glossed? Why is you fools? Hey. No, it's not nice.
Jewel, does your dad always say root?
Does he always say root beer?
I'm really stuck on this.
Maybe
Is
it's only when he's talking about the soda.
the idea that it's like that's a really weird pronunciation,
Yeah.
and the idea that you would be
It's-
taken aback by it when you've known this man your whole life.
It's interesting because when you're bringing this up, and I'm realizing that I think I say a root wad, not a root wad.
Oh. Like meat wad? No, I'm
Like
sorry.
the
rabbit trail.
When the tree falls over in soft ground,
It's
and
a
root wad.
It's a root wad.
Do you agree with me there?
Root wad. Root wad sounds weird.
That's what I
It
thought.
sounds
Yeah.
like you're intentionally punching the ooh when you
Yeah.
say root wad.
Root wad. But I never would have thought of root beer as root beer.
Yeah, I'm not.
And
I'm
yet-
not disagreeing with you there, but I was just when you were talking about that, I was like, I guess I say it in root wad.
Oh, she says, my sister says, I don't specifically recall, but I remembering him saying roof instead of roof.
Rough?
Roof.
Ruffin.
I think
It's
she
a
was,
rough.
It's a rough. Roof.
Can we call your dad?
Roof. Sure you can.
Yeah. I don't have his number.
You don't have his number?
Actually, I do have
You
his
probably
number.
do have his number.
I forgot I do have his number. I don't want to call him.
Do you want to give
Liar.
him? The question is, do you want to give him your number so he can text you during the show as well as Daniel?
You know what? I think we just should gloss over this.
Glance over it.
I think glance over it.
I think it was a glossing blow to Justin's pride there.
Hey Siri, is glanced over a real expression?
It is, but it means to look over quickly.
Hold on. I'm gonna Google it.
Justin, you're like 15 seconds behind here.
Yeah. Are you gonna call your dad?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, it was spring sports season, so I was
Did
trying
you guys
to
not
see if
have local sports at all?
Yeah,
we do have some, but I was also like, hey, isn't spring mean that Jesse Gilbert should be doing something?
I saw some Acosta stuff, but she wasn't in it. I wonder if she's like injured or something.
Yeah, I assumed she wasn't in it because Mossy Rock scored 11 runs on him, and I was like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like
No,
Jesse
they had
Gilbert.
their other. They have another pitcher that pitched in that game.
Interesting.
I'm blanking on the name. That's embarrassing because we're huge Acosta softball fans.
We have
We have shirts. But yeah, I don't know why Jesse Gilbert wasn't pitching, which made me wonder if she's hurt and really hope she's not hurt.
Yes. Maybe she was sick. People are getting sick a lot lately, it seems like. You notice that?
Yeah.
Dude, my family's been sick like 6 times since Thanksgiving. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
Jeez, stop being sick and be awesome instead, Daniel.
Right?
How do I
Gosh.
get to my contacts in here? I was trying to see if I have your dad's number.
Dude, you're still on this.
I'm not going to be able to let it go.
Okay, so I shouldn't start the local sports roundup?
You do you, buddy. Aberdeen's Britton Neal belted a go-ahead 2-run home run in the Bobcats' 3-2 win
Double.
over double. Sorry. Wait. Aberdeen's Britton Neal belted a go-ahead 2-run double in the Bobcats' 3-2 win over Montesano on Saturday at Montesano High School. Congratulations, Britton Neal.
Montesano remained unbeaten in league play with a 4-2 victory over Tenino on Thursday
Soccer.
at Beaver Stadium in Tenino in soccer. There we go. Whew. Took me a while there. There's soccer against Tenino. Senior forward Felix Romero scored 4 goals for the Bulldogs. Oddly, my copy and paste here turned the O and Bulldogs into a 0. That's weird. Felix scored 4 goals for the Bulldogs, 3 of them coming off assists from junior midfielder Chris Tobar, who last week had a game where he scored 4 goals.
And was our Spivey Athlete of the Week.
Yeah. So those Montesano soccer players score four goals a lot. Sorry, I got caught in like a feedback loop there.
Anyway, that's all for the actual roundup. We have more local sports to talk about, but we could just do it as part of the Athlete of the Week conversation.
Okay.
Because I think it's all nominee related.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I was trying to look through some other stuff, but I don't want to because Hoquiam got beaten baseball real bad.
Yeah.
And I don't like Black Hills, so never mind.
Jimmy and see if he remembers your dad pronouncing the word root.
Is it root or root? Root.
Dad,
Is it roof or roof?
Is it root or route? Or root?
Ooh, root or route. That's another one. Root or route.
weird
Root or route.
was it
Root.
just when
But I feel like punching the root for the root wad is weird. It's a root wad.
Yeah.
here the
What about ruts? Is
Like a wagon rut?
yeah, like a rut. Is it rut or root?
It's a rut.
It's a rut.
How good a radio was it that I just said out loud when I was texting to Jimmy while you guys were doing show?
It was pretty bad.
Okay.
And yet, seeing that Andrew and I were basically just saying our previous conversation over again,
Okay.
it added another layer that
Here's
made it
other,
probably good.
other words that can be pronounced strangely.
Yeah, exactly. Is it a route tree or a root tree?
Route tree.
Route tree.
root-
But
I know
are
it's
you
not
taking
wrong,
Route
but
66
it's
or Route 66?
That's fair.
Right? Isn't that weird how we pronounce the
They have
same words
subtly
differently?
different meanings,
Yeah.
even though there's not a different dictionary meaning.
Just such a weird text to get random. I'm just picturing Jimmy looking at this text and being like, "What?" Because all I did was I didn't set
It's
anything
really on
up.
him for not watching the show.
All I did was say, "Does your dad always pronounce the word root weird, or was it just when he offered Daniel a root beer the other day?" And then I said, Daniel said he pronounced it like foot, root.
You don't say foot? No, I'm just kidding.
Football.
I feel like the response I'm going to get from Jimmy is, "Huh?"
Wow, we have a interesting show today because I think it's time for a commercial break.
Yeah.
But on the other side, we will talk more local sports with our athletes of the week and their nominations. That was a terrible way to say that.
I think you nailed it.
Root beer.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Domashevitz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Domashevitz today at 360-612-3991 or visit domashevitzlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
The Scrimmage is brought to you by the Spivey Realty Group and the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz. Gesundheit.
I was trying really hard.
You were just making such a weird face, and I had no idea what was going on. Where usually when we come out of a commercial break, Daniel talks first, and instead of getting close to the microphone, he's like a foot and a half back from it, just like twisting his face up and contorting it in weird ways. And I was like, "Are you having a stroke? Should I keep doing the show, or should I call 911?"
And then the sneeze let you know
And
that
then
it
the
wasn't
sneeze let me
wasn't
know.
a stroke.
That everything was okay.
Whew.
I'm glad you're okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
man.
worried for a minute.
Yeah, jeez. That could have been real bad. Could have sneezed my eyeballs out.
So you got to be careful. I once pulled a muscle in my ribs sneezing.
Ouch.
That hurt. Like a lot. I felt like my insides exploded.
Ouch. That sounds like the worst.
That was one of the most painful things that's ever happened to me. When I did it, I thought I had internal bleeding. Like, it hurt so bad
Ugh.
that I almost threw up.
Yikes.
And then I thought, oh my gosh, I need to go to the hospital now because my insides exploded when I sneezed.
Like something, like your lung blew up.
I thought something was seriously wrong. And then after a little while, the pain kind of subsided. And then I realized I was just being a baby.
My sister said she's coming over to climb the ladder. I'm not sure if she's talking.
Oh,
She's
just
talking
that
about
ladder?
the ladder in the background.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hannah says hi from up the ladder,
Yeah.
working on important things.
If
In
we
the
closed
craft loft.
if we closed the ladder, would Hannah be able to get down?
Yeah, she could shove it down from the top.
Okay.
Oh,
It doesn't lock.
gotcha.
We could get a latch though.
If she closed the ladder, if she closed the ladder, could she withstand a siege?
Yes.
Can you close the ladder from the top?
No.
Oh,
Not without a string to the bottom.
mystery solved.
We are struggling.
We are way off here. Today's been a weird day.
It's a weird show.
Little did we know that Justin taking 2 work days off to just watch basketball would actually melt his brain. And I'm just useless as normal.
So
Really, what you're noticing here is how much we rely on Justin to do things.
I made a bracket.
I don't know if what you
barely
could,
in time,
I don't-
and then I haven't paid attention at all since.
dude. I don't know if you could actually say that what I made is a bracket. That's how bad it is.
Do we want to have a prize?
Do we-
Do we want to bet?
Because-
Are we gonna do a bet?
Well, here's the thing. When I posted the join our bracket challenge thing on Facebook, I literally put join our bracket challenge to see if you stack up against Daniel or whatever, and then I put something like, maybe there will be a prize, maybe not. We haven't decided yet. We usually do a prize, but we didn't talk about it,
I
and then
feel
we
like
didn't have a show on Selection
We didn't
Sunday.
even think about this until roughly the last second.
Yeah. Well, I think the thought crossed Justin's mind before you mentioned it, and you were
okay.
Justin was like, nah, and then you were like, hey, who does the bracket thing? And Justin was like, okay, I'll do it.
Well, mostly once Andrew said it, I was like, "That's stupid. That would be so easy." Like it took me like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I didn't have a
That's
good excuse
how long
for
it
not
took me
doing
to
it.
make my picks.
That's also how long it took me.
Yeah, but I was on the toilet.
I put a lot less thought and research into my picks this year than I normally do, so it probably will end up being one
Does
of my
it
better
show?
brackets.
No, from what I've seen,
I
it
did see
hasn't
that
been one of
McConaughey
your better brackets.
was number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we probably
Max.
don't want to have a
a prize.
prize.
Because I feel like we need to stop having prizes where we just keep giving it to your kids.
Yeah, it only happened
Didn't
once.
Peyton win it once, 1 year too?
Yeah, he did.
Also, I saw Skip was way up there, and we all know that I don't like people from Eatonville. So.
Skip is a previous winner as well.
Yes. My sister says, dang, I missed it. My wife was also upset with me because about Thursday
That was my
afternoon.
brother that said he missed it.
Sorry, my bad.
It
my-
wasn't up for long.
My wife was upset with me when she asked me on Thursday afternoon when the deadline was to put in her bracket, and I was like, last night.
Yeah.
Whoops. Ugh, my bad.
My daughter also wanted to do one, and then I didn't get on it quickly enough.
Yeah.
I'll try to remind you guys like more than like the day of next time. Was it the day of the deadline that I asked?
I think
It might have
Mo-
been.
I
It was
think it
either
was
the day
Monday.
before.
I think
Okay.
it was Monday, maybe Tuesday. So it was probably the day
Because
before.
for me, it was literally like, wait, March is almost over.
Yeah.
March Madness is happening. I haven't even filled out a bracket.
Should we talk?
Yeah, we should probably actually talk about our athlete of the week nominees.
I'm enjoying this catch-up session though. I feel like
Yeah.
I haven't seen you guys much lately.
It's true. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I had Montana to the Elite Eight. That was not a good
Yeah,
choice.
that was a bad job.
I had North Carolina to the Elite Eight.
Also a bad choice.
Yeah. Those weren't even close to my baddest choices.
Yeah.
I picked Liberty to the Final Four.
Liberty Bibberty.
Liberty Bibberty got Bibberty bounced in the first round.
Yep.
I picked
You also
Liberty
lost your
pretty
national
far.
champion.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's probably worst is I picked St. John's
St. John's.
to win the whole kit and caboodle, and they lost yesterday.
So
yeah.
The thing about Liberty is that you had to pick it over Oregon.
Yes.
You had to pick it over Arizona.
Yes.
So
Now you're tracking with me. Yes.
yeah, like Liberty is a special. There was no argument for not picking Liberty.
Right.
Liberty or a horrible school.
Yeah, that's a
obviously
good
you're
point.
gonna pick Liberty.
Yes.
I picked
Liberty's
Oregon.
good.
You would. You also picked Duke to your title game, you horrible person.
Really good though. I described that as an emotional hedge.
you Benedict
I love
Arnold,
that.
you.
I love
It's an
that
emotional
you're
hedge.
emotionally hedging.
It's an emotional hedge because I feel like they're gonna win it, and at least if I get points out of them winning it, I'll feel a tiny bit better about it.
Why
but
didn't
I
you just
couldn't
pick them to win it?
I
then,
couldn't
you
make
terrible-
myself do. I couldn't make myself do that. It's the same thing with North Carolina. I was trying actually to pick them to lose earlier, but then I got to the point where it was like, am I going to pick them to lose to Michigan State?
Dude, that was another one of my bad picks. Is I could not pick. Like I was like Michigan State. They'll probably can't pick Michigan State. Nope, Michigan State is dead to me.
Yep, exactly.
For everything.
I
Because
Jimmy
picked that
gave-
one right.
he who shall not be
I
named.
just assumed that North Carolina was terrible because Justin wasn't excited about them all year. So I was like, nah, they'll lose.
Jimmy gave me a real answer to the root question.
He did?
Good.
Yeah.
Rowdy Telez is about to hit a nuke right now.
He said he's not sure, but he feels like he didn't always pronounce it that way.
So I was right to be caught off guard by it.
I think the more I think about it, the more I think he just misspoke. Like he meant to say root beer and it just came out root beer.
Root beer.
And then everybody just moved on and glanced over it.
Oh man, Rowdy Telez only hit a double. He didn't hit a home
Only
run.
hit a double.
I really don't think that we're going to get to the bottom of it unless we actually talk to your dad. though.
I,
Does he ever listen to the show or watch the show after it's over? Like he watches
I'm
live
surprised.
a lot.
You know, Andrew didn't send me a link before,
Oh.
but I shared. I did go and find the link and shared it. So
about
I'm
that.
surprised we haven't heard from him yet. Daniel says that's why you always bet against your team. Then when you win, even if they lose, you don't mind losing if your team wins.
Sounds like a Husky fan.
And with that, it is now time. Wait, I was gonna say 2-minute drill, but we need to do the athlete of the week nominee.
Jewel says that she thinks he says rut instead of root. Like he says
says it rut?
espresso instead of espresso.
He definitely says espresso.
Okay.
And he definitely says, what's the other one? Isn't there another? Especially and
Ooh,
espresso.
that one drives me nuts. I've never noticed him say that.
Oh my guy, that one's hard for me. Yeah, he says especially.
I have a soft spot for espresso because I feel like express it accurately describes how the coffee's being made. So it doesn't bother me as much as other mispronunciations.
Interesting.
But I think espresso is a thing.
no.
It's just different from espresso.
No, I don't think it's a thing.
I think it's
I
a-
mean-
Unless it's like
Unless it's like a
s-
gas station espresso and they go espresso.
it's like fast in Spanish.
espresso.
Espresso. You know what it is? It's something that was coffee at one point.
An espresso.
I'm looking up espresso, and there's a newspaper called Diario Expreso is a daily newspaper with national circulation in Peru, founded in 1961. Expreso.
It's like the fast word. Justin's completely lost.
Yep, we're gone. Anyway, now it's time
I'm
for
really
your
I'm struggling.
nominees. The first one comes in from a coach, Chad Allen.
Yeah.
Says Renesia Burtonshaw for Hoquiam Track. All she did was break a school record in her first track meet as a freshman for the 100 meters.
That's crazy.
That's silly. Felix Romero, as we mentioned, he had 4 goals in that game in that win over Tenino. And he also had, two others in their Tuesday game. Lily Camp in there again. Whoa, no hitter versus Kentwood. 20 Ks. Dude, somebody told me about this. Where was I? Somebody was like, oh, I bet you've already heard about Lily Camp. And I was like, I have not heard about Lily Camp. And they were like, she had 20 Ks getting 21 outs. And at one point, she struck out 15 kids in a row. She had a no-hitter with 2 walks. That's going to be tough to beat. Colson Hendrickson, Monty Baseball, 5 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 6 Ks, a walk versus Schmeatonville. Oh, he's got the versus Eatonville escalator there. Justice Forsyth, bull riding. Scored an 87 ride on Friday night at the Grace Harbor Mounted Posse Rodeo.
Andrew, do you
I nominated him.
Is it rodeo or rodeo?
It's rodeo.
do you want to give a little more explanation on that?
Scoring an 87 is really good. There's been 100 scores since like 1991.
Whoa.
Over a 75 is a good score. Over an 80 is a really good score, and up in the 90s is like elite level. So an 87 is really, really good. It's a combination. The judges
Thank you.
score
I was just going to ask you.
The judges score the bull and the rider out of 50 points, and the combined score is the score of the ride.
So if the bull just goes out there and just kind of goes,
yes,
there's something on my back, then they're like,
that wasn't that hard to stay on, so they get 0 points or something. I don't.
Do
know
you
how
have to
this
stay
works.
on longer than 8 seconds to get a 50?
You have to stay on at more than 8 seconds for there to be a score.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like how well you stay on for 8 seconds?
I assume so. I'm not an expert on this. I literally read about it for like 5 minutes.
I feel like we might need your wife to come down.
I don't know that. She also read about it.
Okay.
In a book.
Anyways, book or book? Sorry.
There's no like news stories about it or anything yet, which makes sense because the rodeo isn't even over. It's happening as we speak.
Yeah.
But in the arena, they said that it was an arena record.
Nice.
So possibly it is the highest score that's ever been ridden in Elma.
Dang.
Which, I mean, there have been professional bull rider. I don't know what they're called.
Bull riders?
But I don't remember what the organization is called. But the professional bull
the
riders
PBR?
Yes, thank you. The PBR has come through and stuff. Like there have been
Not
legit
a beer.
I was gonna say it sounds like
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
but I'm pretty sure it's professional bull riding. But Pabst Blue Ribbon. Apparently, I had to.
That's what the kids call it.
Yeah.
It was a very impressive ride, and he is from Montesano. So I thought that was cool.
Gotcha.
That is awesome, and I don't know much about bull riding except that I think people who do it are crazy.
Bonkers.
And he's also biased in favor of Montesano.
That's true. But I think I don't know if you had an inclination here, Daniel, but
Julio's about to hit a grand slam. Sorry. I just got to keep saying it so that if it happens, I can be like, totally predicted.
Cut that audio.
To me, when I look at the candidates, it's between Renesia Burtonshaw and Lily Camp.
Yeah.
Really good stuff here.
I've got a leaning one way.
Yeah.
But I have.
I also have a leaning one way.
But I shut up, Andrew. I'm leaning this way. Oh, dude, he did. He hit a nuke. He hit a grand slam.
No.
He hit an Oppo Taco grand slam.
No.
Yeah.
Cut this audio. Daniel predicted it.
And he hit it so it was like a no doubter. Like he hit it so far gone that I thought he popped out because he just kind of stood there.
Because it went straight up out of the box.
Yeah. And also he just kind of stood there. But no, apparently he just hit his second grand slam of the spring, which obviously means he used them all up and we won't see any more grand slams for the rest of
Is
the
this
year.
one of those situations where you like were on the ESPN app on your phone and it said he hit a grand slam, but the TV's a little behind?
Justin, do
No.
you do that
'Cause
sort of thing?
I once did when my boys were little during a Seahawks game, like just pretend like I was predicting what was going to happen on every single play, and they were amazed by me until I let it. I did it for like a full possession, and then at the end of it, I was like, "Just kidding, guys. I was watching it." Anyway,
That's awesome.
thought it was funny. So we got to get to the root of the issue here.
Yeah, we do.
We got a grizzly versus a squaring off versus a bobcat here.
We do. So I feel like I'm leaning a certain direction, but I feel like it's not a. I feel like I've done something like this before, and it's come back to bite me a bit.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So my thought is, Renesha just broke the school record in her first meet.
Yes.
And I'm kind of like, well, maybe she'll break more records later, and she'll probably break
You don't want to
her
say,
own record because
you don't want to accidentally say something like, "Well, we might fall into the trap that we're giving it to her every single week."
yes, which I've definitely said before. But Lily Camp, 20 strikeouts and 21 outs. Like, that's some Jesse Gilbert numbers right
Lily,
there.
I think.
I mean, she
Wait.
didn't get 23 strikeouts, so...
Yes.
So
Good
what the
point.
heck? She needs to get with her catcher and work this out.
She only walked 2 batters. She completed a no-hitter. And she had a string. Whoever was telling me this initially said that she had 15 strikeouts in a row.
That's
That's
demoralizing.
That's insane.
Lily Camp, I believe, is committed to play softball at Grand Canyon University.
Well, she should commit somewhere higher than that.
It's D1.
I forget. I keep
Is she a
forgetting.
senior?
Is it?
She's a senior this year. Yeah, but she committed last year, I think. I think she committed a while ago.
Right.
And Lily,
Since we're saying things out loud, kind of under things that we're talking.
is it such an old person thing that you just say out loud when
Yeah.
you're typing into your phone?
I
do it all the time.
Lily Camp softball.
Justin, my brother told you that he believes that was peak dadding, and Daniel's
you.
sister Jewel has said that she thinks that's the rut of some trust issues.
That's probably true. That's not far off.
No hitter to lead Bobcats past Elma, 8-0 complete game victory. You know what? I'm gonna just grab something else here because I feel like. Wait a second. That's from last year. Lily Camp threw a one-hitter last year. Gosh darn it, that's an old article. That's what happens when you Google Lily Camp softball. You get old stuff sometimes. Now I need to try and find that.
A no-hitter with 20 Ks.
It's bonkers.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That means she struck out everyone but one person.
Yes,
I
she
am
did.
not great at math.
And you know what? Somebody told me that I just remembered. The same person told me that the other out was a girl she walked got thrown out stealing.
Oh, so she struck out everyone that she had the opportunity to strike out.
Yes.
Besides the 2 walks.
And then, well, maybe it was the catcher. Never mind. I was gonna say, and then maybe because throwing out stealing would be the catcher.
Yeah.
Picked
Yeah.
off would be the
Pitcher,
Right?
yep.
Okay.
Well, and there's no pickoffs in softball.
Oh, really?
Well, 'cause they don't. The ball's not live. They don't leave the base until the.
Oh,
ball,
here it is. Here it
the
is.
ball
Here it is.
pitched.
Aberdeen's Camp strikes out 20, and a 9-0 no hitter over a 4A class team. Oh, that's another thing.
Hold on.
Kentwood's 4A school.
Are you to steal
They can't leave until the ball crosses the plate or the ball is released by the pitcher.
I think his ball crosses the plate.
Yeah. So there's no lead off.
When they're stealing, they're still not leaving until the ball is thrown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The only putout required by the Aberdeen defense in the game was when catcher Alyssa Yakovich threw out Kendall Toyana, there's too many vowels in that name, on an attempted steal of second to end the second inning. The only blemishes in Camp's near-perfect game was a pair of walks. One was on a full count, and another on a 7-pitch at bat to Joe Francis Rodriguez with 2 outs in the 7th. Camp threw 92 pitches, 69 for strikes.
Nice.
Thank you. And had a stretch where she retired 15 batters in a row and an immaculate inning in the 3rd, striking out the side on 9 pitches. Camp's teammates provided more than enough. Did she do anything hitting too, I wonder? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Triples by Vesey.
Is this in the Daily World? Or are you reading the Daily World?
Yeah, I'm reading the Daily World. By the way, subscribe. We are. You should too.
Should be a box score at the
There's
bottom.
but they don't do box scores like they used to. I'm not seeing her listed. Oh wait, she went 1 for 4.
Okay.
But it doesn't say any. I don't see an extra base hit or anything. But
last week she got an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Because she pitched amazing in a doubleheader.
Yep.
And got both of the wins, and then also hit a home run during that doubleheader.
Yes. That's why I was thinking she might have done something hitting as well, but I guess when you're busy striking out 20 people and out of 21 outs. So that's where my vote's going.
I think maybe if she had gotten 2 hits, then I would be inclined to go that direction. No, I mean, this is so tough because Renasia just broke a school record.
Yes.
And
That's in
literally her
first meet.
She's real fast.
And yet I'm saying, dude, the first 2 weeks of spring sports have been electric.
Yeah.
This is crazy, the performances we're seeing.
Yeah.
Because Felix Romero scored 4 goals in one game.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about him.
And it was all their goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He scored all the goals.
Yeah. All of them.
I'm good with going Lily Camp. But it's a struggle to not pick Renasia.
I feel. It's her first one, too.
It's Bitcoin hoodie guys back.
Hey, Barry Bonds wouldn't want to face the Aberdeen pitchers, and then he says, "Did you guys see the girl in Seattle that plays baseball? She hit 81 miles per hour. Oh, nice. That's cool." Have you heard of Jessie Gilbert? She struck out 23 batters out of 21 outs once.
I think Lily Camp and Jessie Gilbert are more impressive than this baseball girl. That's just my
You know
opinion.
what? I had a girl on my Little League baseball team. She had to be pumping close to 70. She probably punched people too.
Yeah.
Did she strike you out?
Oh yeah, dude. She was on the
that's
All-Star
why
team.
she was pumping
No, she was on the All-Star team for the. It was so funny because, this was the early 2000s, so kids were like, "Oh, you guys got a girl on your team," and we're like, "Yeah, just wait." And then she'd strike out 10 kids, and we'd be like, "Oh, you got struck out by a girl." She pumped gas.
There was one time
Kayla.
in an All-Star tournament in Little League that I think it was 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
And I thought there was a girl on the other team that turned out just to be a long-haired boy.
just a dude with long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little embarrassed when I found out I was wrong about that because I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it to several people before finding out that it was actually just a long-haired boy.
They were like, "You mean Bob?"
We're not making Bobs anymore. I don't think. Yeah, that's one of those names. I don't think. Do we have Bobs?
I don't know.
I've
Roberts?
It's worth noting
Robbie?
that
Bobby? Garth? That's not a Bob narrative.
Everyone named anyone that I can think of named Bobby, Rob, Robert, Robbie. It's all in their 20s at least. I don't know anybody under the age of 25 that's a Bob, Robbie, Robert.
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone?
No.
I don't think there's just some names that we just don't make those anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I feel like we don't get any Earls anymore either.
resurgence of Klondike as a name.
I'm am not naming my kid Klondike.
You
okay?
said you were.
No, I didn't.
We named an episode after him.
You know what? I don't remember why we did that. Andrew, do you have a?
I just want to point out for Lily on Lily's side that Kentwood is a 4A school.
Ooh.
So that's not a 20 strikeout no hitter against an equal team.
Right. Or
that's my only thought was Kentwood's a big school. I have no idea if they have a good softball program, but they are a big school and they could if they wanted.
I think we.
I'm good. Like I said, I'm leaning towards Lily Camp, but also Renasia just beat the entire history of Hoquiam High School.
And that's where, because I'm
is
looking at this.
This is tougher than I thought. Like I was sold on Lily, and then I'm just like almost thinking I was like, oh yeah, 4A school, that's big, and then I was like, Renasia just beat all of Hoquiam track history.
But did Lily just pitch the greatest game in the history of Aberdeen Bobcat softball?
Oh,
Which I don't know the answer to that. But if there was a greatest game in the history of Bobcat softball, it would look like this, right?
I'm back on the Lily Camp
All right,
train.
Lily Camp.
You are our athlete of the week. You probably could have won it last week too, but seriously, spring sports has been outrageous so far. Lily Camp, for your 20 strikeout performance, just 2 walks. Also, you got a hit. Also, you struck out 15 in a row. Also, you had an immaculate inning in that game. You are athlete of the week. Just a ridiculous performance when you think about it. Just nuts.
Greatest pitching performance in the history of Aberdeen softball.
It just prove us wrong.
We're declaring it with almost no knowledge.
But prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Let me. You can't.
Yeah, prove us wrong.
You don't know. It's time for another commercial break so we can get to the third period of our obvious hockey show. My son wanted to watch hockey the other day. We watched like 10 minutes of hockey, and he was just like, can we watch more? And I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on.
You could learn.
Somebody mentioned a blue line.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Kraken suck, so there's no real... I've just not jumped on that. And they traded my favorite player.
They've traded Tanev?
They traded Tanev.
We've progressed from Seattle doesn't have a team to the Kraken suck.
The Kraken suck. Johanna says the name Robert is currently ranked as the 89th most popular name for boys in the United States as of 2023. It has become a common name since the 13th century. Well, you know what? That is more popular than the name we are thinking of naming my kid, which was like 94th in the U.S. in 2023.
Oh.
I just can't think of it.
Still more popular than we like because we like weird names like Anchor and Beta.
Where does Anchor rank on that list?
Dude, he wasn't in the top 1,000. He was way out there. But now, did you see that video of that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game where like there's a squirrel on the field or something and some staffer saved him? Do you remember that from the NFL season?
Yeah.
That guy's name was Anchor, and he was on TV, and so now
cool.
Everybody's going to be naming their kids Anchor.
Well, that's cool. Your Anchor will be older than those kids.
Oh, you're right.
Pretty soon, people are going to be naming all their kids Root.
My sister says, since Athlete of the Week is sponsored by Spivey, does she win a house?
Let's talk to Kevin.
That.
Yeah, we'll talk to Kevin.
We're
about
efforting that. Also, thank you for reminding me that I should have said Spivey Athlete of the Week. The Spivey Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Spivey Realty Group. Spivey. Please keep sponsoring us.
Also, thank you for reminding us that we always have intended for the Athlete of the Week to come with like some kind of reward, and then we just haven't ever done it.
Never done that.
Yeah.
But I think a house is where we should
A
start.
house, yeah. We should
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
that.
definitely not like a T-shirt or something.
Yeah.
No, a house
T-shirt.
for sure, yeah.
Got to be a house.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for our Athlete of the Week portion as we roll on this jam-packed show we have today to the third period of our Obvious Hockey Show. Okay.
Spivey Realty Group's goal is to make buying, selling, investing, and renting real estate in Grace Harbor simple. They believe in 100% transparency and unparalleled communication with local expertise, tech-enhanced, and top-notch service for their friends, neighbors, and community. Their goal is simple: get a group of strong-willed, hard-working people together who want to make a difference in Grace Harbor and to use real estate as the means of achieving that. Voted Grace Harbor's best real estate company. Find them on Facebook or visit graceharborrealestate.com. Spivey Realty Group, elevating small town real estate.
My wife just texted me, stop it, because I think I was kind of referencing our future baby's
Oh,
possible
now
name.
people are going to go look up what's the 94th most common boy's name.
Oh, I didn't think about that. What happens?
Oh, Daniel gave it up.
Well, you did just
Everybody
say,
knows now. It's not a secret.
What if I messed up the name though?
You
or
did.
the
You also
number?
did just say like. Didn't you say like 94th? Like it would.
I did
could
say
be the
like
93rd or the 95th. What does it rhyme with? Blondike.
Daniel was already
Okay,
in the
good.
doghouse for giving away their vacation location.
Yes, that's true. I just Googled 94th most popular name in USA in 2023, and it didn't come up. So
Oh,
so we're
so we
good.
have a blacklist now.
Gosh dang it! Stop trying to get me in trouble. It's time for the 2-minute drill. Gosh.
Let's go, hurry up! Gotta hurry. Hey, 2-minute situation, 44 seconds, hand the ball to the ref. Gonna do it right. 3 jet Buckeye, on 1 right 3.
The 2-minute drill starts now.
The Seattle Seahawks have made some moves in free agency to restore their depleted receiving core. Daniel, do the signings of Cooper Kupp and Montez Valdez-Scantling make you feel optimistic about the offense?
It does. But also, I don't know if it's going to make me feel more excited than DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett in those spots. It's more just, hey, these guys are cheaper, and I would like them to buy some offensive linemen, and because that's what I feel like they need now that they saved some money.
Cooper Kupp can help the offensive line.
Cooper Coop. That's true, because everybody's like, he's basically an offensive lineman with how he blocks. Yeah, well, he can't help in pass protection now, can he?
You just feel challenged by his blocking ability.
Shut up. The most controversial storyline from last week's March Madness selection show was the inclusion of North Carolina Tar Heels as an 11 seed. Justin, how big did they shove it down their throat? Oh, wait, did the Heels belong in the tourney field?
I think as a Tar Heel fan, which I'm obviously very biased on this, I would have been fine with they got left out of the field. I'm fine with the fact that they were in the field. Mostly I feel like if you find yourself on the bubble, you have no one to blame but yourself if you're not one of the top 37 teams in the nation. Like, just West Virginia, freaking get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal.
West Virginia.
I mean, yeah, so yes, they belong.
You're not even East Virginia.
They belonged in the field, but if they had been left out of the field, I would have been totally fine with it. The Seattle Mariners released Mitch Hamburger today. Daniel, what does this mean for the Ners outfield?
Not Mitch Hamburger. I love the burgers. No, this was Mitch Haniger, and he was released because he hasn't even been healthy enough in spring training, which is actually new for him. Normally he gets hurt after the season starts, but also Rowdy Tellez has come into camp and absolutely been a boss. And he provides, in a weird way, more versatility for this Mariners team that still has a very confusing infield. And Mitch Haniger plays in the outfield. Really, though, he wasn't going to play in the outfield. He was going to be an only DH. So it really hampered things. This is a good thing. It's sad to see Mitch go. But, man, the dude just can't stay on the field. The Seahawks have the 18th pick in the upcoming draft. Justin, what position should they be looking to address?
The Seahawks have 5 picks in the top 92.
Dude, I just went
Please
straight.
draft 4 offensive linemen.
I went full on Coach Z from Homestar Runner right there.
What's you say there, Hamstray?
Oh, the gerb.
Great Jorb. 4 people got that. Jules watching though. She got it.
She loved it. Yes, they need offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and more offensive linemen.
The draft is roughly a month away.
Or is it roughly a month away?
It's roughly a month away. I gotta say, like,
This is gonna be the most hated episode of all time.
Well, there's real strict competition, like real competition there. Like people hate us.
You.
So,
You. Possibly they hate you.
What about the one where I
upstairs.
did my
Yes,
fake
they do.
apology to wrestling? I think that was
Oh,
that might be our most
that,
hated
yeah,
episode.
I think that might be our most. hated.
I made people actually mad with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I cared, it would be a problem for me.
I mean, there's still coaches on the Harbor that don't talk to us from some of our episodes.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
We're obviously a very controversial show.
We are so edgy. Like,
Yeah. My sister says she's dying over the coach that you referenced. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about football, actually, because
Football.
Football?
I-
Or is it football?
as we have covered
Football.
our sports consumption habits have changed over the years as we get older. Like, I've been so out on the NFL the last couple of years. Like, I still play fantasy football and I pay attention to what's going on. I almost
Dude, we've got a
never
fantasy
watch.
baseball draft today.
Yeah, at 6:30. I am actually kind of interested in the Seahawks this year. I don't know if they're going to be good, but I am curious. When they first decided to sign Darnold and let Geno go,
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's dumb. You should just be tearing it down, tank for a year, get a really good draft pick, build up a team that can actually be good,
Yeah.
and then bring a quarterback in with a team that's built enough to compete.
Right.
But sometimes, though, if you try to be cost effective with your signings and bring guys and be competitive, you can get in as a wild card or a low division winner and catch lightning in a bottle. Like, teams win the Super Bowl with a 10-win season.
We've also seen.
Not often.
We've
The
seen
Giants did it twice, I think.
NFL
Yeah, but that's been a long
rosters-
time.
Yeah.
We've seen NFL rosters go from like non-players to really, really good in only a couple years before. I can't think of the exact.
What if they turn into like the Ravens of Trent Dilfer? Well, he was like widely regarded as trash, but their defense was just so good.
I don't even know if I'm predicting that they're going to be good. I'm interested.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling you there, because as soon as they traded Geno Smith,
Yeah.
I was here for it. I was like, yes, finally, let's
Daniel
do this.
is a known Geno hater.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was like, let's just give the keys to Sam Howell. And okay,
I thought you'd say give you the keys to Sam so you could be just like gloss over them.
no, I was so. There's two things that our Seattle media, I think, has absolutely been just totally up their own butts with recently. One is all of a sudden after they trade Geno, they acted like they talked about how he wasn't a good leader all the time. And I was like, you guys never brought this up. And yet they're constantly like, we've been saying it all along. He's not a very good leader. And I'm like, I listen to your show every freaking day. I don't remember you guys being like, oh, Geno Smith, we've been hearing behind the scenes. He's not a very good leader. He's not a team guy. He's kind of a... I don't remember that once. I'm not saying I would have caught everything, but they're now talking like they talked about it constantly, about Geno Smith and the issues he had in that locker room. I do not remember that storyline at all. And so for them to be like, well, this makes more sense because as we know, Geno's, kind of an iffy team guy. I'm like, what are you talking about? Andrew, do you remember that being a storyline before they traded him?
I would
No!
just say that it wasn't. I don't.
You
think
listen
it was
more
ever
than
a
I do.
Story that he
Andrew
was a like vocal, strong team leader.
No, but they
Like,
never said he was a
he's-
bad leader or a bad locker room guy. And as soon as they traded him, they're like, oh, well, this makes sense because he's not a very good locker room guy. And people don't like him. And I'm like, where is
Are
this
you
been?
sure you're not taking guys saying he doesn't provide this thing they need as he's a bad this thing?
Dude, Mike Salk literally said that he created rifts in the locker room because
Okay.
people did not like Geno Smith.
Okay.
So it wasn't just that he wasn't a net positive, that he was a net
Okay.
negative, at least by that statement.
Then yeah.
The other thing that they've completely jumped onto is, we obviously saw that Sam Howell's trash. He got to play in like 2 quarters of a game where
yeah, but
Geno
they
Smith...
didn't jump onto that ever since those 2 quarters. They've been saying that.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying that's a new thing. I'm saying that You're judging
approximately the only person that watched that game and thought, no, Sam Howell might be really good.
No, I never said that he might be really good. I'm saying that judging a quarterback of a quarter and a half, judging a quarterback on a quarter of a half of a game where Geno Smith had already been sacked 7 times and then was just like, yeah, screw it, I'm out.
Yeah.
Of course that game's going to suck. Like, that is...
And
Geno
we saw
Smith,
Howell in the preseason, and he was pretty good.
He was okay.
Agree with... even
it's
even
bonkers.
If he looked good, and... Like, if he looked good in 2 quarters when he was put in halfway through the game, I would also be going...
And yet...
He might still be trash.
Yes,
like,
and yet
judge on that.
everybody you talk to is like, oh, Sam Howell, we obviously saw that he sucks. And I'm like... From a quarter and a half of a game that was already written off and your offensive line was playing worse than normal when they were already trash? It makes no sense to me how everybody has done this.
My argument for why I didn't expect him to be good is more that he had been unable to set himself apart from Geno, who was not significantly above average. And then when he got an opportunity, he couldn't perform.
You know, my bounce back to that would be is John Schneider was like, no, Geno's our guy. He's my holdover, and we're going to stick with him, just like we're going to stick with DK Metcalf, just like we're going to go with my guy, this offensive coordinator, who obviously Mike McDonald didn't like that much because he got bounced after 1 year. And then finally John goes, oh, well, okay, I guess we can get rid of these guys that I brought into this regime and made Mike McDonald stick with. That's my thought on it.
How much of that has to do with he should always be saying that about people that he's not planning on getting rid of? Like, he wasn't getting rid of Geno right away. He's going to be vocally, like, out loud supporting him. And the thing with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback is McDonald getting hired late in the process, kind of like the offensive coordinator was kind of a snap hire, right?
See, this is where the thing with your dad makes less sense to me. Like, Andrew says getting rid of, but I know that about Andrew. He doesn't say getting rid of. He says getting rid of. But it's a thing that I notice in my life, okay?
Right.
And if your dad said root, you should know.
I should. Well, maybe that's why it threw me off so much when he said it.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was out of the ordinary.
Yeah. My thing with Sam Howell from the beginning was like, I wasn't even really predicting he was going to be great. I was like, it's kind of a 50-50. Like, he's probably going to suck. But if he sucks, then your team will suck. Yes. And then you can get a better draft pick.
Justin's strategic argument is not a bad one.
Maybe he'll be great. He was a great college quarterback. He had a couple years playing for the Commies, and he was okay. Yeah.
And everybody's talking. Were terrible. And they were terrible, and everybody's talking about him like he was garbage.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that gets me. It's like he had a similar performance to Geno with a also garbage team. He comes in, he gets a quarter and a half in a game that was a trash heap, and everybody goes, he's awful. Thank goodness we have Geno. And I'm like, am I taking crazy pills?
Yes.
We talk about Andrew, how much does every sportscaster, how much does every broadcaster, how much does every coach talk about how important it is to get reps getting ready for a game?
Yep, that's true.
He had 0 reps, comes into a game that was a dumpster fire, and everybody crucifies him over it.
And I do, like I said,
and yet those same people are like, reps are important, except for this guy didn't get any and he sucked.
Because
I'm like, there's a disconnect.
Because if you come in halfway through a game and you throw for 300 yards, I'm also going to be like, yes, it looked amazing, but hold up. He might still suck.
Like the Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Flynn is
I'm
the
sorry.
poster child.
But ultimately,
Did I just get way too heated over
yeah.
Sam Howell?
Well, I mean, only because they ended up executing a plan now that I'm actually interested in.
Right.
I thought
Also,
when
Daniel,
they traded
do you want
Geno,
me to make a better argument against Sam Howell? Because part of what you
Careful.
need in a quarterback is the leadership, the charisma,
The Rizz.
the Rizz, as well as the performance. And if Sam Howell had that, then he would be able to, in preseason and practice, get
The way you said Rizz sounded
project
so
himself
old.
better than Gino. If Gino was lacking in some of those areas, even a little bit, even if Gino is like above average in all of the areas, but like some of them aren't the strongest.
Do we know that he
if
didn't,
Sam
though?
Howell has the ability to be better, then like
I reject the premise that you need to have Rizz to be a good quarterback.
oh really?
Yes.
Well, who is a good quarterback without any
You
Rizz?
think Sam Darnold has Rizz?
Is Sam Darnold a good
He
quarterback?
won 14 games last year.
He was in MVP conversation.
He was in MVP
in the-
conversations.
I would.
You
I
think
would
Matt
say that
Hasselbeck
he
had
probably-
Rizz?
Yes. Dude, have you ever heard Matt Hasselbeck talk? Matt Hasselbeck drips Rizz.
We're going to
has
get the
Rizz.
ball and we're going to score. Pick six.
Hasselbeck has Rizz.
Hasselbeck lacks in execution. He does not lack in Rizz.
Does Peyton Manning have Rizz?
Peyton Manning does have Rizz. but
Well,
I
It's a
don't.
different kind of
It
Rizz,
is
though.
definitely a different kind.
It's a different kind of Rizz. Does Eli Manning have Rizz?
No,
Oh,
that's why
that
he's
would
not
be the
elite.
big. That would. He's just won 2 Super Bowls, but you know he didn't have the Rizz.
I don't remember where I saw this, but I saw recently someone was saying that Eli Manning was inserted by God into the world to keep Tom Brady from being too perfect. Like his only purpose in life was to keep Tom Brady from achieving too much.
Can we go through like all the best current quarterbacks and ask if they have Rizz? Does Patrick Mahomes have Rizz?
I think
Yes,
so.
he does.
Does Josh Allen have Rizz?
Oh yeah, Josh.
I
Allen
mean,
has
Patrick
Rizz.
Mahomes rizzes up the officials every week.
Here's
so.
Daniel, hold on. I don't think you can even be a quarterback without having a significant amount of Rizz.
Then what happened to
Like-
Sam Howell's Rizz from being a
no, hold on.
ridiculous college quarterback?
Because
To just all of a sudden-
we're talking about the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback past high school, you have some you're an above average like
Rizzer.
Rizzer.
Oh my gosh.
Like
The Rizzler.
you attract
The
people
Rizzler.
are like, oh, this guy's really good, right?
Yeah.
So in quarterbacks, we're already talking about people with elevated Rizz.
Does Lamar Jackson have Rizz?
Yeah, definitely.
Is he drippy or does he have Rizz? Because I
more-
think those are two
he's
different
more
things.
swaggy.
Swaggy. Yeah, he's swaggy, but I don't know if he has Rizz though.
It's a swaggy Rizz.
Swizz.
Okay. Russell Wilson. He might have anti-Rizz.
He has negative Rizz. Yeah, negative amounts of Rizz.
But on first impression,
Negative
he's
Rizz.
got tons of it.
He might be able to fake some
His
Rizz.
Rizz, no.
So here's
Russell
here's what
Wilson's
I'm saying.
Rizz ages badly.
Here's what I'm saying is you're saying you need instant Rizz. Because Sam Howell, I'm saying he would be
Well,
the
Sam
like
Howell had
Sam
multiple
Howell.
years.
Sam Howell, not in Seattle.
Didn't he? Wasn't he here for 2 years?
This is gonna be his second year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They
I thought
traded
he-
a third
I was
round
thinking
pick
it
for him to do nothing. Because he
Back
didn't
up.
insta Rizz. So what my next theory is Sam Howell is the guy who you need to get to know and give him a chance, and that's how you get his Rizz.
Sam Howell is the guy that like women are like, why can't I find a nice guy? But you just didn't. He was in the
You
friend.
just didn't give him a
you
chance.
friend zoned him.
Exactly. That's what he's not gonna go to a club and pick somebody up. He needs to get to know you for like at least 6 months.
Yeah.
You need to chat with him when you have tough things going on in your life.
The coach turnover lends credence to that argument, I think. Because a new coach coming in, even if Sam Howell was better, if he's not so much better that it slaps me in the face, then the coach probably isn't going to put their first impression on the line
Right.
by making a huge adjustment.
Right.
Joe Burrow embodies
Rizz.
Rizz.
Oh.
He is Rizz.
He might as well be Rizborough.
Yeah. Does Matthew Stafford have Rizz? I think so.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know who didn't have any Rizz?
You know how you can...
Rick
Colin
Rizz.
Kaepernick. No
Yeah,
Rizz.
no
You
Rizz.
can
No Rizz.
probably judge quarterbacks' Rizz pretty well by just looking at their wives. And or lack of wives. Aaron Rodgers.
Tony Romo. Rizz. Yeah. Tony Romo is a vibe.
Oh my gosh, I
Dude,
just blanked
Matthew
out.
Stafford. The reason why I'm making this face is Matthew Stafford's wife did some crazy stuff and then
did she?
talked about it on a podcast. She said that she was trying to get Matthew Stafford to commit, so she literally started dating the backup, who was like a crazy party boy.
At college? In college?
No, in Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she straight up talked about it on a podcast. She was trying
Maybe
to
I'm
make
wrong.
him jealous. It's bonkers.
Does Kyler Murray have Rizz? I don't think he does.
No.
No.
No Rizz for Kyler Murray.
Wow. We just really devolved into a Rizz We need to ask your kids.
Yeah. What's the
I'm
other?
sorry, the San Diego quarterback that
Herbert?
older.
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers.
Dude, that guy's got like 19 kids. He
Massive
must have
amount
Rizz.
of Rizz. That's what I was going there.
Brock Purdy?
I think we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of an unknown. Did Alex Smith have Rizz when he?
That's an also one I don't know.
I really liked him.
Me too.
I think
Well, that's
no.
not what we're talking about.
I think he did. I think that what he did, being that lead, really, really talented quarterback who actually helps the guy that's studying under him succeed gracefully, I think that's really hard to do.
Oh, yeah. But that doesn't mean he has Rizz. It means he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
It's like
I
Sam
don't
Howell.
think nice guys can do that. Nice guys get ran over.
Which he did. He didn't get his starting job back, and then he got traded to Kansas City. He got ran over.
I was saying post Kansas City. Like when he got traded to Kansas City.
And then he got ran over again. Patrick Mahomes took his job, and they got rid of him. He got ran over in two straight spots.
I
felt like the way he handled it was different than just getting ran over.
Yeah.
Like I felt like he seemed to at least publicly embrace it and like, this is my job. I'm going to do this job really well, rather than getting like, you know.
Can you have Rizz and be swaggy, or does the swaggy kind of like ruin the Rizz? Like, does DK Metcalf have Rizz? I think he does.
That's a question for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the wrong guy to ask this question. I don't know what's going on.
It doesn't know what any of these
I'm out of my
words
depth
mean.
here.
Tyler Lockett, no Rizz. No Rizz. But I think
What?
DK has Rizz.
It's hard to have Rizz with such an early onset baldness.
Bald spot, yeah. I agree with that.
Like, that sucks. I really like Tyler.
Yeah. Love Tyler Lockett. I don't think he's a Rizz guy, though. It's not even necessarily a bad thing. I don't have Rizz.
Well,
Daniel has Rizz. I don't have Rizz.
I don't have Rizz.
You do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
You know who's got Rizz?
Who?
Our buddy Jaden.
Jaden's got Rizz.
Jaden's got Rizz.
Jaden's got Rizz.
I remember hanging out with Jaden sometimes, and I was like, dude, I don't know what you're doing, but now I know what it is.
But it's
He had
working for
Rizz,
ya.
and I had no Rizz.
I literally have had a conversation with my oldest son about which ones of his friends have Rizz and which ones don't.
Dude, this is the weirdest episode.
Jackson Wilson?
By far.
Rizz.
Yeah, I can get that. I mean,
Yeah.
he was wearing the puka necklace. Yeah.
Well, we got to the root of the problem. You want to go on to my favorite part of the show?
Please, dear God.
Let's do it.
Serving questions up on a silver platter where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
Stump Daniel is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz. Today's Stump Daniel, Rizz or no Rizz?
Oh, no.
Just kidding. Kidding. Actually, in the theme of March Madness, an idea came to me when my son asked me, where is that college? And I was like, I don't know. So Daniel, today's Stump Daniel, brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz, no relation,
Do we have sponsors after today's
is...
show?
Do our sponsors have Rizz?
Spivey's got Rizz.
Spivey's got Rizz.
Spivey's got real
Spivey's
Rizz.
got real Rizz, that's true. Daniel, I'm going to give you a college.
Daniel says, I mean, are you taking crazy pills? And then he says, dang, we're all on crazy pills. I'm in for it.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a college that is in March Madness, or at least was in March Madness. Some of them have been eliminated.
Liberty Bibberty.
And you're going to tell me in which state the college is located.
Okay.
I think you might actually be good at this. You tend to do well with college-related questions. Like, remember when we did that Seahawks one, draft picks, and I thought I was going to stump you with what college they went to, and you got, like, all of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Including the one where you said, no, he didn't go to that college.
Yeah, it was, that was Chris Carson, I think.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, my bad. You beat me on that one.
My sister, real quick, maybe I should say, I'll save this for later.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep going. I will not sidetrack you more.
BYU, Daniel. In which state would you find Brigham Young University?
Brigham Young University. Utah.
That is correct. You are 1 for 1, obviously. Utah, because it's, the Mormon school.
And Brigham Young was a massive Mormon.
Massive.
I don't know. Maybe it was fat. I don't know. Andrew should look that up.
Did Brigham Young have Rizz?
Was Brigham Young fat?
Did Brigham Young have Rizz? Andrew?
Well, we know Jonathan Smith did.
Joseph Smith.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
Jonathan Smith. Can't believe I uttered that name.
Yeah, but I wanted to
Gross.
move on from it before you get too upset.
I'm getting upset.
Creighton, Daniel.
Creighton.
Where
Oh,
is
gosh.
Creighton? What state?
He's kind of fat.
Huge Mormon.
Dude, I usually have the same type of beard style as that guy. That's worrying.
Creighton.
Creighton.
The Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays. I'd do much better if you gave me mascots, because I feel like Creighton would be one of those, like, what's the Creighton mascot? And I think I would have gotten to Blue Jays. I was picturing something blue and a bird.
You know BYU?
Cougars.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. State of Creighton, though. Kentucky?
Terrible guess.
Darn
It's
it.
actually Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Omaha, Nebraska.
not feeling that.
It's not the vibe.
That doesn't fit. That
It's
is
not the vibe.
not the vibe.
Not the vibe.
100%.
Yale, Daniel. In which state would you find the Ivy League college Yale?
Oh no! I feel like this is one people know because it's Yale. Ah.
George W. Bush went to Yale and played rugby.
Oh, G-Dub? G-Dub have Rizz?
He has to have.
I think George W. Bush has Rizz.
Was it Plains? I'm gonna say New York.
Terrible guess.
Dang it!
Connecticut.
That was gonna be my second guess.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Daniel, you're 1 for 3. Marquette. Where is Marquette?
This is a bad episode.
Oh,
bro.
do you know Yale's mascot?
The Bulldogs.
Yes, most common mascot. Okay. Marquette, Daniel. Where is Marquette?
Marketsville.
Marketsville, what state?
Louisiana?
Oh, terrible guess. They are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Whoa, that's a bad guess.
Dude,
You're 1 for 4.
I am completely missing the vibe on like all of these.
I feel like you should get this one. St. John's. Your national championship pick. Where is St. John's University? Coached by a vampire.
Gonna buy some time with a random old story. St. John's
Daniel picked a
Was-
Catholic university. I thought he hated Catholic schools.
St.
All private schools, actually. There's nothing against Catholics specifically.
I don't know. I like Gonzaga.
That's a good argument again.
St. John's, I believe.
Do you like Gonzaga Prep?
No. Get out of here,
High
Gonzaga.
school.
Prep.
It's high school specific.
Yeah. St. John's, I'm pretty sure, played in a Far West Classic in my very first, initiation into I am a beaver over a duck at the Rose Garden.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure St. John's was in that tournament. New York.
New York is correct.
Let's go!
They are in Queens, New York. You are now 2 for 5. Drake, Daniel. Where's Drake University?
He's from Canada, isn't he? Yeah. Pop culture reference.
Yeah, good one.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Drake. Drake.
This one's just around the corner.
From what? Massachusetts?
From here.
Was that a guess? Or?
Massachusetts?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's
Where-
actually Iowa.
Right around the corner.
That's
Right.
a callback. If you know,
That-
you know.
Yep.
Liberty Bibberty University.
Liberty,
which you
Bibbity,
just
Bibbity.
touted your fanhood of because they're playing against Oregon.
I feel like
Or they
they're
played
from like
against Oregon.
they're from like Illinois or something
Ooh,
like that.
I'm sorry. That's a terrible guess. They're actually from Virginia, Lynchburg, Virginia.
Lynchburg?
You are 2 for 7.
Seriously.
Vanderbilt, Daniel. You need to get this one.
Oh, they're from the SEC.
Yes.
So, you know, those amazing SEC football schools like Vanderbilt.
I feel like you
Vanderbilt.
should know where Vanderbilt is.
I
though.
feel like Vanderbilt is also a school that Daniel has to hate.
Vanderbilt's
because of
also
their name.
they're really good at baseball, so they're like hosting super regionals and stuff. I feel like you should know where they are.
Yeah, the Beavers play against them sometimes, and it pisses me off.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Oh, Vanderbilt. Oh,
Say it a few more times. that'll help.
So you know they're in the SEC, but you still have to pick a state.
Georgia?
Terrible guess. They're in Nashville, Tennessee.
Of course they are. I've
Yeah.
been to Nashville.
I really wanted you to get it right because then I was gonna say you're the only 10 I see, just to show how much Rizz I have.
Which is negative.
Negative amounts, yeah.
Negative Rizz.
Purdue, Daniel. This is a big college. Is in
The Boilermakers.
The Boilermakers.
Lifelong
very
fan.
good. Yeah. They make boilers.
Oh.
WSU,
You have
was
resorted to chewing on your microphone
WSU
screen.
was playing, or there was a special
Yeah.
on Purdue on a Purdue fan during the WSU game day.
Where did he live?
Right,
That's
right.
why I am an
I remember
all-time
that.
fan.
I should know this one.
I was trying to
should.
give you time to think, Daniel. Sorry.
Well, more thinking hasn't necessarily resulted in correct answers in this game.
It's one of those I states.
Okay.
Idaho.
There are several of those.
Iowa.
It's either
Indiana.
don't take this. Take Daniel said Tennessee is the best 10 I see. Let's see. It's either Indiana or Illinois, and I'm gonna say Indiana.
You are correct. They are in West
Good
Lafayette,
job.
Indiana. You are 3 for 9. I'm
Take
gonna
that,
say
East Lafayette.
You have one more, and you've done a terrible job. But if you
Horrible.
if you get this one, I'll say you're out of the duck zone. You
Straight
can get
trash.
into the Husky zone.
Oh, I mean,
But you got to get this one right. Xavier. Where is Xavier University?
oh Lord.
They're in March Madness all the time. Big East school.
Oh. That's a big hint.
I mean, it
could be
would be,
literally
except that-
anywhere.
It would be except for exactly.
Exactly.
Except for Stanford's in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, it wouldn't even help you to know
No,
Atlantic
Daniel,
Coast.
it's All Coast Conference.
All Coast Conference, yeah.
I almost said something perverse. Another one that starts with an A. Xavier. They are obviously from.
Xavier starts with an X, obviously.
They are obviously, from the X-Men state. Professor Xavier.
Okay.
That's probably New York, huh?
My guy. Yeah, I'm going with New York.
Terrible guess.
Dang it.
They are in Cincinnati, Ohio.
What?
So welcome to the Duck Zone, Mr. Hargrove.
This is disgusting.
Ohio's not even real.
If anyone at some point, Ohio, that's Skibbity, Ohio toilet. My guy.
I feel like you guys both just got a reference that I don't know what's going on.
Okay, well, you know what? You're old. So
Ouch. Yes,
Daniel,
I am. Zero
you
Rizz.
are in the Duck Zone.
You might as well call me Rizzo because I have 0 Rizz.
Oh.
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 O Rizz.
Oh.
I have O Rizz.
Oh.
Call me Anthony.
Rizzo?
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
Got it. Okay, that's going to do it for Stump Daniel. It was brought to you by the Law Office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz, no relation.
What's the A stand for?
Daniel, did you have a text from Jewel that you wanted to... Oh, this music
Oh, yes,
could be,
I
the
did.
music could be turned off now. I don't know.
You don't tell Andrew when to turn
Sorry.
things off.
No, I said it can be. It doesn't have to be.
My sister says, I have designed your t-shirts. The first one, I really want this one. This one's dope, except for I would take the pink color out. But it says, the scrimmage. We hate privates. The second one.
Can I see that real quick?
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
Okay.
The second one, the scrimmage. Almost ready to be good.
We're so far away, though.
The next one is the scrimmage, sponsored by Crazy Pills.
Yep. Accurate.
The next one, this one's a little too accurate. The scrimmage. Sometimes we talk about sports. I think she hit a little too close to home on some of those.
That's the only reason why she listens, though. If we talked about sports all the time, Jewel would get bored so fast.
That's true. I think that's going to do it for our show today. Real quick, though, what do you... right before that, I took a screenshot of a video, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. It is the opening day prediction from a podcast. It says Victor Robles in right, Julio in center field, Cal at catcher, Randy Arozarena at DH, Rayleigh in left field, Polanco at third base, Tellez at first, Moore at second, and J.P. Crawford at shortstop, with Logan Gilbert starting on the hill. What do you guys think?
I thought Garver was going to DH, and a Rosarena...
Who's going to play
It'd
left?
be a Rosarena in left, Julio in center, and... Who's the guy in
Robles.
Robles in right field.
Yeah. So these guys said because Tellez has done so well,
Okay.
he can slide into first, which moves. Apparently, also they're facing a team that's going to be pitching a right-handed pitcher.
Okay.
So Tellez is left-handed.
Okay.
So he would fit at first base against a left-handed pitcher. That would move Rayleigh, who's also left-handed, to be able to play in the outfield. And then you could put a Rosarena at DH because a Rosarena is actually a trash outfielder, apparently.
Oh, okay.
That was their theory. There's so many guys that I hope to be good in that lineup that if my hopes worked out with all of them, it would be awesome. But I've been burned a lot.
Yeah. Rosarena has Rizz, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he's
And
got Rizz.
Julio obviously has Rizz.
Just look at his eyeballs.
Does Rowdy Tellez have Rizz?
Yeah.
Okay.
That dude's got Rizz like he's got like Ortiz light vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that bumps Mitch Garver out of the lineup, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Garver has no Rizz.
0 Rizz.
So I don't want him in the lineup.
Yeah.
So if there's a scenario that you could put somebody who's potentially good in the lineup and get Garver out,
Yeah.
I think I'd be good with that.
Yeah. And Tellez has had a great spring, so we'll see how that translates. Thank you to all of our listeners who have commented today.
Baker Mayfield has Rizz. Does
Yes,
Jaden Daniels have Rizz? I think he does.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Daniel wanted to say that as a retired field grade officer, I also hate privates.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Jordan Love has Rizz.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, Justin
Man.
Herbert, I think, does.
Jordan Love is the one that took a seat at halftime in the national championship, right?
No, that's the Super Bowl winner for this year.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, okay. Never
Yeah.
mind. I'm sorry. I was thinking, man, I don't know if you could do that and ever come back without massive amounts of charisma.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts has
He has Rizz.
tons
Yeah.
of Rizz.
I don't know about Bryce Young. I don't know if I've heard him talk enough to know if he
Yeah,
has Rizz.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua has Rizz.
I mean,
I think Tua probably has more.
I would say he's got
than-
Rizz coming out his ears,
Yeah.
but I'm worried about other things coming
Like
out of his
brains
ears at this
squirting
point.
out of his
yeah.
ears? Yeah.
Yeah, coach says it's okay to be bleeding from the ears.
What about Dak
nose.
Prescott? Dak Prescott have Rizz? I kind of lean towards no. I don't think he does.
I don't know. He kind of looks like a. I was gonna say he looks like a Goomba from that old.
It's
like,
funny.
Mario movie.
It's funny because I feel like this question is the sort of question that you could answer within, like, and all joking aside, you could literally answer within like a minute of like talking to somebody.
Yeah.
But
for
we're
sure.
like this person that we see on TV.
Yeah, CJ Stroud has Rizz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, I feel like we're the worst group possible to talk about if somebody has Rizz
Kirk
or not.
Cousins, no Rizz.
No Rizz.
Derek Carr, no Rizz.
No.
Trevor Lawrence?
Michael Penix.
I think Penix has Rizz.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence
Trevor
has
Lawrence is
Rizz.
a tough one, but I think he's got like a vibe.
Well, he had college Rizz.
He has a vibe. Does he have Rizz?
I'm so confused.
He has aura.
Gosh.
He has main character energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean Rizz, you know?
Dude,
It's kind of skibbity.
dude,
It's skibbity.
what is skibbity?
Bro. Go back to Ohio.
I'm so confused.
I think Caleb Williams has the wrong kind of Rizz. Like, he has Rizz, but it's like almost like
Negative risk.
it's a Rizz that makes him unlikable.
I could see that.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, no Rizz.
Zero Rizz.
No Rizz. I'm not sure about Anthony Richardson.
I don't think he has football Rizz. Doesn't he have rapper Rizz?
I think that falls under like swag or like drip, right?
Dude, I'm so far out of my depth in this conversation.
You know who absolutely has Rizz? You know who oozes Rizz?
Do you want to ooze anything?
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Minshew might be the peak example of Rizz
Yeah.
over, like, I don't want to, probably talent, like, whatever, like, innate ability. Like, not a strong arm. He was going to be he was ready to be a coach
As
at
soon-
Alabama.
Yeah.
And then his pure personality has pushed him into a career backup NFL quarterback career.
And sometimes starting.
Sometimes I forget how
Also-
much I like making our show just descend into total nonsense.
Yeah.
It is what you live
Sometimes I remember that's basically what you live for. As soon as you said main character energy, it just reminded me of this picture, which there's one person in this picture that has main character energy. I'm going to show it to you first. Do you see the one with main character energy?
Anchor?
Do you see the one with main character energy? It's the little one in
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah.
No.
She's got it.
Yeah. My daughter worries me sometimes with the amount of main character energy she exudes.
Does she ooze it though?
She oozes main character energy. My guy. Yeah, this is her also.
Yeah.
She had to, and then later,
Oh yeah.
yeah, she had to have the sunglasses on
It's
while
nice that
drinking
she,
out of her
it's,
coffee
it's
cup.
nice that she graced you with her presence.
That's what it feels like sometimes. Yeah.
You feel blessed to be graced with her presence.
Yeah, he does.
Also, did you guys hear the audio with those slow motion videos I sent you recently? Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that after the show because
remember.
it completely terrified my parents. Because slow motion audio obviously sounds bizarre, and they're like, "What's going on?" No. All right, you guys all have March Madness games to watch to. To watch to?
We have a fantasy baseball draft.
Yes.
I feel like I exhausted Daniel today. Like
I'm.
it's like There was a
my
point that you were kind of pushing back on my nonsense, and then at the end you just gave up.
My sister says in the acting world we call it status. Is status the same as Rizz?
No, it's different.
No, charisma.
Or is she saying that? Or is she saying that main character energy and
Is status?
are the same thing?
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of main character energy as like
Yeah,
self-perceived status.
Yeah.
Like you don't earn main character energy, you just have it.
My okay, so a couple of things.
You earn status.
100%. Daniel says V has massive MCE. I don't know what MCE is.
It's got to be main character energy.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 100%. My sister
She
says
no, she has the status.
she has a status, so they're arguing. Then my wife just said talking about pictures on a podcast is the best.
It's a vlog.
We described the picture. Kind of.
That's going to do it for our show today. So for my co-host, Justin, the Rizzler Damashevitz.
And my co-host, Daniel Zero Rizz Hargrove.
And our trusty producer, Andrew Rutwad Gross.
Let's not get rid of him.
Let's keep him. Definitely not get rid of him. You've been listening